Hello, thank you for being here with me. Well, I want to share something. I think that all of us want to thrive and live a fulfilled life, filled by health, love, success, and wealth. But most of the times, we, especially women, struggle with the challenges, transitions, and also symptoms holding us back from achieving our goals. This happens because of many reasons, but mostly because we, the women, make a mistake that is about trying to adapt ourselves to a masculine model. Our society is built on this kind of model, but men are designed differently than women. Let me introduce myself for those who never watch a video with me, follow a live, or I'm a specialist in the field of connections, let's say that, and integration. I'm a kind of Renaissance woman. I love to find the connections and integrate science and spiritual practice from different parts of the world. I'm 56 years old and I started over many times in my life, so I'm a transformation specialist, a kind of rebirth specialist, okay? And I integrate psychophysiology and neuroscience with myths, symbols, astrology, alchemy, natural magic, all those astrology, those things. My work is anyway very practical and based on the body because we experience life, even spiritual life, spiritually speaking, through our body. And our body is the instrument through which we can experience actually and manifest our spirit. There is no other way, okay? Here. So we cannot thrive without acknowledging that our body is the sacred mirror of nature's elements and cycles. Look at a woman's hormonal cycle. It counts the same amount of days as the moon cycle, approximately. There is a complexity in a female body. There are two main hormones dancing, estrogens and progesterone. Actually, there is more going on, but let's stay simple, okay? And yeah, it's a kind of dance. Their tides and waves determine the menstrual cycle in our fertile stage of life. So let's say that women work like the moon. The moon rises every day at a different time in a month and changes shape every day in a month, right? Men work more like the sun. Yeah, there are some fluctuations, but the sun never changes its shape. It can rise 1 minute later every day, but the moon actually rises 50 minutes later every day, okay? So it's different, right? And the men, they have one main hormone, that is testosterone, and the variations are really similar to the rising and setting of the sun. So much less fluctuations. It's different. It's different. It's not better or worse. It's different. Women don't need to male-ish in order to thrive. Women, we need to acknowledge our richness by acknowledging our inner cycle. This cycle, once we enter into the fertile age, and even when we finish it, when we go through menopause and after menopause, it's always present inside of us, no matter if we went through surgery and have organs removed, no matter if we have to or if we want to take hormones for any reason, there is a memory in our body, a biological memory. So let's acknowledge that, and let's acknowledge that our richness comes from this connection between our cycle and nature, our hormonal cycle, our menstrual cycle, because this is the mirror of nature's cycles. So our power comes from acknowledging this and not fighting this, and from integrating, embodying, manifesting the phases of this cycle, because the goddess is nature. And I'm not speaking only for women, so-called Tamil. Really, I'm speaking for every human being, okay? Because we are all part of nature. So in some way, it's the body, it's everybody's body. Sorry, I'm Italian. You know that. You already know that. I moved to Canada a few years ago. Sorry, and then it's always like, okay, Italian and English mixing in my brain. So sorry for my accent. Okay. Anyway, the goddess is the nature surrounding us, nature within us, the nature of which our body is made. So all the goddesses, they represent clearly maybe one or more of nature's elements, aspects, functions, and phases. I'm not speaking of, I want just make clear, I'm not saying that I don't believe in the goddess, I don't believe in goddesses, I believe in the goddess, I don't believe. No, this is beyond beliefs, okay? Whatever you believe in, make peace with that. I'm speaking of nature, the goddess, the matter of which we are made, okay? And this is really something beyond beliefs. I respect every belief, each one of them, and it's still a mystery for everybody. If I believe in the goddesses, I embody this principle. I do my best to embody nature. Okay, so let's go beyond that. There are 4 main phases to acknowledge. Every phase corresponds to one of the 4 elements: fire, water, air, earth. In the year, we have 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, or fall, and winter. I'm speaking for our northern hemisphere, because otherwise things become a little bit more complicated. So let's stick with the northern hemisphere. I'm always speaking of what I experience. Okay, so I'm here, I live in the northern hemisphere, so I'm speaking about that. And I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, because I was born with this, a woman's body, okay, female. And of course, I have bias for that. So in the month, we acknowledge the same 4 phases: the crescent, the full, the waning, and the dark or new moon. And in our menstrual cycle, we acknowledge, in our fertile age, the pre-ovulation, the ovulation, the premenstrual phase, and the menstruation or period. Okay. In a woman's life, let's speak of stages. Okay, we have this childhood, the fertile stage, then we have perimenopause, and then we have menopause and beyond. So fire, spring, is like the energy of a childhood. Children are unstoppable. This is spring, this is the fire. And it corresponds to the crescent moon. And so the pre-ovulation phase, okay, this energy. And water is like the energy of a fertile woman who opens herself to pleasure and creation, creativity, not just procreation, creativity. The energy of summer, it corresponds to the full moon and to ovulation in the monthly cycle, hormonal cycle. Air is like an enchantress, able to transform everything and turn the energy inward, like the autumn, fall, which colors are magical. It corresponds to a phase between our 40s and 50s and perimenopause. In the month is the premenstrual phase and the waning moon. Okay, then earth Earth is like the winter, healing, transmutation inside. This is the gate to rebirth, to a new cycle. It is the period, the bleeding moment, the dark new moon. And this is the magic moment in a woman's life in which, through menopause, we can access all the elements and an eternal spring. This is one of the secrets. From that spring, we can access all the elements. But we can train ourselves to do the same even before menopause. So let's explore a bit more. When we acknowledge these, we can start working as it's meant to be, like women, meaning that we can function and unlock our inner magic, embodying the goddess and thriving. Because if we just try to be every day the same, it doesn't work. We are not designed for that. We are designed to function respecting those tides, those waves, okay? And it's true that everything comes with the movement. Why? Because the body is not just there like a sculpture. The body, our brain learns through movement, okay? So I'm a movement specialist. I work through movement activations. There are specific activations through our body, and through those activations we can awaken and harness the energy of 4 elements, the seasons, phases, and all related goddesses, okay, or the goddess in different aspects. So our magic comes from our body and the magic of embodiment, because element earth corresponds also to our physicality, so to the body itself. Look at earth. Earth is earth, but contains all the elements. Same thing in our body. Yes, it's solid, consistent, like so really, you can touch it. Tangible. Water corresponds to our emotions, but our emotions, we express them through the body. Fire is our will, but it's also life itself, and we express it through the body. Air, our thoughts, thinking process, well, air is communication. It happens through our body. So everything can be expressed through our body. But if we observe nature, and its cycles, we notice that nature includes all the elements. So our body does. There is a moment to express everything. Sometimes everything is mixed, sometimes it's very clear. We need to acknowledge, we need to distinguish in order to integrate everything, recognize that we are whole. And then we go beyond the genders roles. We can go beyond that, but we have to distinguish in order to understand and to integrate. Otherwise, there is just confusion. Moreover, I started from thriving. In the ancient times, earth was the element connected to richness and wealth. Okay, so prosperity comes from earth. But again, earth means the whole of nature. That is the goddess. Our body, again, we belong to nature. We belong to it. No matter our spiritual beliefs, again, our body is the only way through which we can experience a spiritual life. By acknowledging this, then we can unleash our magic. We need to reconnect to the attributes of each element and phase of nature, seasons, moon phases, and so express and manifest also these attributes related to our life stage, the present life stage. But then we can connect with all them. Doesn't matter our age, okay? There are also planetary cycles connected to life stages. The rules, the rules to be successful in our 30s are different from the rules to be successful in our 40s and in our 50s and beyond. This is another interesting point. And this is also very personal. There are general rules, but there are also really personal rules according to your birth date and place, and etc., etc. So anyway, the pathways to achieve success and prosperity, they vary according to the life stage we are going through and according to our personal life. But our ultimate goal is to master each phase independent of our age. And we have also to understand what kind of superpower is connected to the phase we are going through now, if we want to thrive. Then, once we go through menopause, and that for some of you it's still far, it's okay. But once we go through menopause, our goal is really to access all the previous phases and stages anytime we want. It's like a rebirth, a deep rebirth. Our divine feminine energy is wholeness. It is something belonging to every being, because the physical aspects connected to earth and nature includes all the other level of existence, mental, emotional, spiritual, and it doesn't belong only to female or male. The feminine aspect, it's inside everyone. But it's true that when we start living the difference and understanding the differences, even thinking or imagining how would it be to be a male, or how it would be to be a female, following different kind of cycles. The most important thing is that instead of fighting the requests coming from your body, you have to find a way to stay in touch with it. Because if your body wants to express those waves, well, it's a need. It's not just something to fight against. It's something to understand, something to harness, okay? So of course, I wrote a book. I love to share. I like to teach about this, and this is why I will be teaching a free webinar very soon. It will be July 22nd, and it's free because I want to pass on some of my secrets to go through this, and I will also explain more about my new book, so stay tuned. And in the webinar, there will be also a section dedicated to questions and answers. So if you like the topic, if you resonate with it, just register to the webinar. That is totally free. It will be on Zoom. I will put in the comments the web page for the registration. And even if you can't attend live, don't worry, because to all those who register to the webinar, I will send the recording. So anyway, I love to connect. I love to transmit practical, effective knowledge. So I would be more than happy to meet you in the webinar. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Just if you resonate with this, you can even comment if you have questions. It's of course, it's my experience. Your experience could be totally different, and I respect that. This is one of the first thing I like to say, because we are all different. This is the beauty. This is the beauty, because we can share different points of view and different experience. And this is the way we can create a better world, starting from the inside out. And this is what I believe we can do. All of us. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and see you, I hope, in the webinar. Oh, just in case you see this video after the webinar already occurred, don't worry. If you are interested, just comment or send me a message somewhere here or through my website. You will find a way, and ask me for the recording. I will be more than happy to send you a link to the recording. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter. I will keep it. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful life. Bye.